This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Bogia MP free from election petition. Former PNG Defence Commander's case faced Supreme Court decision. And late MP's daughter to contest North Bougainville by-election. Good evening, you're watching National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. The election petition challenging the member for Bogia Open, Robert Naguri, has been dismissed by Justice Joseph Yagi at the National Court today. This was election petition 52 of 2022 by petitioner Sir John Hickey against Robert Naguri and the Electoral Commission. The member for Bogia Open in Medang Province, Robert Naguri, has expressed his satisfaction today following the court's decision to strike out the election petition against him and the Electoral Commission of PNG.
My election petition was dismissed by the National Court of Waigani through Justice Joseph Yagi on the grounds that the petitioner, Sir John Hickey, refused to turn up for court for four consecutive court sittings. On those grounds, the court used its discretion to strike the case out and dismissed it. And I'm very happy this morning.
Naguri said he is now satisfied.
There's nothing much to say. It's back to work. We have to start working now, starting probably after New Year's, and carry on. We have a lot to do for our district. There's so much to do, and this one court case is wasting my time and wasting the time of people of Bogia district and the courts as well.
He said he will now focus on his plans for his district and gave assurance to his people that he will follow through with his plans for the district. The former member for Maprik Open and petitioner for election petition 9 of 2022, John Simon, is satisfied with the decision of the National Court that was handed down today. The date for trial is set for next month, the 16th of December in Wewak, East Sepik Province. The former member for Maprik Open, John Simon, has expressed his confidence in his election petition following the decision made by the Court of Disputed Returns.
My election petition was filed after the declaration of the election, and so far so good. The date has been set for trial, and the trial will be in Wewak. It was going to be in Maprik, but due to the power problem and internet issues, the venue is being moved back to Wewak, so the date is set for the 16th.
With the date for trial set for next month in Wewak, East Sepik Province, Simon has urged all his supporters to remain calm on the outcome.
My appeal to my supporters and my families back at home, thank you very much to the court as well. Let's allow the court to decide on this, and however, so far so good, and I'm very happy with that. And it's better that way, that we go to trial and let the court decide.
The Supreme Court case on the PNG Defence Force former Commander Gilbert Toropo went before a three-man Supreme Court bench at the Waigani Court today. Representing the National Executive Council and the Governor General was the Attorney General through the Solicitor General Tauvasa Tanuvasa. The Supreme Court ruling was in regards to objections filed by Toropo's lawyer. The former commander of the PNG Defence Force, Gilbert Toropo, whose position has been revoked by the National Executive Council earlier this year, has challenged the decision in the Supreme Court. The three-man bench, comprising of Justice David Cannings, Justice George Manuhu, and Justice Allen David, ruled that they refused the objections made by Toropo's lawyer. Representing the National Executive Council and the Attorney General was the Solicitor General Tauvasa Tanuvasa, who spoke about the Supreme Court matter.
Two major generals, two commanders of the Defence Force, that been himself the outgoing commander, Gilbert Toropo, as well as the current Major General Makoina. So this appeal has been on foot for some time, and we did early in the year obtain permission of the court to appeal the decision of the National Court, and then also a stop of that orders made in the National Court. So we've been working towards trying to have a hearing of our appeal. The appeal is set, and it was set down for today. But there was also an objection, as I said, objection to our appeal, which is a formal notice. And essentially, that objection was dismissed. Basically, it was actually dismissed on costs were awarded to the NEC and the Attorney General. And really, the objections, in our view, was just were not not enough to prevent the court from dealing with the jurisdiction of in terms of dealing with the appeal.
Tanuvasa stated that their position today was to intentionally move their appeal to dismiss the case.
The court then adjourned the appeal, our appeal, and has now referred it back to the Supreme Court Registry to have it set down for it to go before a listings judge to then list it for hearing. We could have dealt with the appeal today, but because of the objection, it took some time.
A young, vibrant woman leader has put her hands up to contest the North Bougainville seat. Joycelyn Nakin, the daughter of late Honorable William Nakin, has expressed her interest to contest the seat left vacant by her late father, who passed on after retaining his seat in the recent 2022 national general election. Preparations are underway as the North Bougainville constituency prepares for this by-election expected to be conducted earlier next year.
Joycelyn Nakin has announced her intentions to contest the North Bougainville seat. She said her late father had plans for the electorate, however, did not live to see the implementation of his plans. This has now prompted her to carry on the work and legacy left behind by her late father to build the dream he had for his people. North Bougainville needs leaders with vision and plan ahead. North Bougainville constituency needs good decisions, transparency, good governance, and accountability. These were sentiments shared by Ms. Nakin recently. She has appealed to the women in the communities to make good decisions and vote towards that decision. In the race for the North Bougainville by-election, 2 other women have registered their interest to contest as well. Retired teacher Beverly Tsibos Sawia, who has vast experience in the education system in the region, community work and social engagement activities, has also put her hands up to contest. Another female who has registered her interest is Roslyn Kenneth, an active participant in the private partnership programs through peace building and weapons disposal. She has worked alongside donor agencies like the United Nations and Australian High Commission. According to Bougainville election manager Justin Pantumari, the North Bougainville by-election is expected to be conducted by May 2023, with the Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai expected to announce the official dates soon. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
The new ambassador for the State of Israel, His Excellency Rio Rosenblit, was at the government house today to present letters of credence to the Governor General Sir Bob Dadai. Vice Regal Sir Bob Dadai officially welcomed His Excellency Rosenblit into the country and said the government of PNG is looking forward to enhancing bilateral ties further with Israel.
In a small yet significant ceremony today, the new ambassador for Israel, His Excellency Rio Rosenblit, appeared before the country's Vice Regal, Sir Bob Dadai. A guard of honor was hosted before His Excellency Rosenblit by the police band and PNGDF personnel. His Excellency Rio Rosenblit spoke highly of Papua New Guinea, especially its products being exported overseas.
Your Excellency, Israeli private sector is proudly represented here. I visited the Ilimot dairy farm and the 9 Mile vegetable farm, which are providing fresh milk, yogurts, and vegetables daily to the local markets. Produced for the first time in Papua New Guinea by Papua New Guineans for Papua New Guineans. Mr. Governor General, you have in your beautiful country forests and gold, oil and gas, fertile soil.
PNG's Vice Regal welcomed Ambassador Rosenblit and assured him of the continued bilateral ties with Israel moving forward.
Multilateral forums, we look forward to working together on issues of mutual interest. In bilateral forums such as climate change and sustainable development.
This momentous occasion ended with a toast towards both countries' continued bilateral relationship. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. During the Parliament session this morning, the opposition leader Joseph Lelang asked a question without notice to Prime Minister James Marape on the issues faced throughout the 2022 national general election.
With a lot of complaints that have been raised over the election period, especially with the common roll, opposition leader Joseph Lelang asked a question to the Prime Minister on these issues.
All the governors have 3 scrutiny 6.
Lelang explains that this issue has affected everyone throughout the country during this year's national general election. He asked the Prime Minister if he has a time frame for the special parliamentary committee to bring the reports forward.
Prime Minister, do you have a specific time frame that you expect the special parliamentary committee to complete its works so that we can get into the serious business of reforming and tightening up our electoral laws in Papua New Guinea? I would like to go one step further and ask the Prime Minister if we could consider an additional independent process free of biasness.
In response, Prime Minister James Marape says full funding will be given to the committee to make sure they complete their work and bring better solutions for the next election.
The parliamentary committee we've established is a bipartisan parliamentary committee. We want them to be at work. We will give them full funding to, from an arm's length perspective, the opposition members and government members together could take a holistic review into what has happened in 2022, as well as what has happened in 2017, 2012, 2007. Go back to the entire process and try to cover and put an informed, fact-based suggestion for us to go forward into a new voting process, a new process that also generates how we conduct elections in 2027 and beyond.
Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
In Parliament session today, member for Delta Fly, Agena Gamai, today asked minister responsible as to what could be done to help rural airstrips around the country. Gamai said for many years now, all the government has done is talk about rural airstrips, but no tangible developments have taken place to help fix and refurbish all rural airports and their facilities in the country.
Rural airstrips has been an ongoing challenge in all 4 districts of Western Province, including the newly established Delta Fly electorate. Member for Delta Fly, Agena Gamai, questioned as to what the government intends to do in supporting Balimo Rural Airstrip and plans to upgrade it to a commercial airport.
In 2013, a contract was awarded to Ada Civil Works by then CSTB was approved by the NEC that time. The long delays in getting the Balimo Airport completed thus far really affecting service delivery.
He said because of the lack of air services, the only means of transport for the people in his electorate has been the sea transport, where canoes and dinghies travel miles to Kyunga in the north and Daru in the south of Western Province.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, given that Okteri mining has been and is still the biggest revenue earner in the country, can the national government direct NAC to upgrade the state of Balimo Airport and recognize it as airport instead of airstrip?
In response, Civil Aviation Minister clarified that both rural airstrip services and airport services operate differently and have their own procedures.
I would like to highlight some of the process and procedures. Firstly, as he stated, we need to understand the status of the airport, whether it's an airstrip or an airport. If it's an airstrip, then it still falls under Rural Airstrip Association. If it's an airport, then it fall under and can be fall under the National Airport Corporation. But at this stage, it looks like it's still an airstrip. So we need to treat it like an airstrip. And if the member wish to upgrade, then there's certain process and procedures we need to follow.
Minister Schnobel said that if there is need to upgrade airstrips into airports, that's something the government and the department would look into. For now, both airports and airstrips in Western Province continue to suffer from the lack of government attention to help build proper airport facilities for its commercial flights and rural airstrip services in the province. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
To open the discussion on the floor of Parliament during question time today, Member for Jimmy Open Wakegoi directed the first question to Agriculture Minister Ayet Tambua regarding the African swine fever that stopped the transportation and movement of pigs after it was discovered in the Highlands region.
A highly contagious disease that affects pigs known as the African swine fever, or ASF, was first discovered in Africa before spreading into Malaysia and then to the Pacific. As for PNG, it revealed that pigs in the Southern Highlands province contracted the disease. This led to making things harder for people to use pigs for ceremonial and traditional purposes when it came to big traditional gatherings and bride price ceremonies. Today, Member for Jimmy Open Wakegoi raised a question asking the Agriculture Minister whether or not the disease still exists and that the national government needs to inform the citizens if they are allowed to move pigs around again in the Highlands region and in the country.
Plenty complain also you sabe pick one bla also mapus also have use him long bread price now la big bla ceremony long this country.
He added that pigs play a significant role in the society as it is mostly used for cultural and traditional purposes.
By me bla walking yet or me bla bas lose him now people too ask him too long or like savel or display.
In response, Agriculture Minister Ayet Tambua said the disease still exists and that he will get more advice from Nakia so that the public is kept informed.
Sabasisa finish this last sick. Blow pig, I'm come up long time neglect na this pig. Unfortunately, time me talk to mon Nakia. All talk this last sick and still stop yet. I'm start on top long Southern Islands na come down Osem.
Minister Tambua said the movement of pigs, especially in the Highlands region, was stopped to control and contain the spread of the virus. Once all necessary findings and results are acquired from and by Nakia, the public will then be informed.
Me appeal all Papua New Guinea, especially leaders bloyimi. Pig one play important something in Charlong culture bloyimi. In Charlong Christmas season, please if you make it bear one time rules na regulation blow Nakia. Now you may give time long this last sick and come down only at Bogim clearance you may moving pick.
Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Governor for NCD, Powers Pakop, asked the State Enterprises Minister William Duma in Parliament today about not having a state representative in the BSP board despite having equities in the company.
Governor Pakop also raised concerns on who is doing the policies of the bank.
government making representative maybe minister mieto representative minister go establish board so that you all member you can complain. You all ministers do can complain. All ordinary people do can complain about BSP. You can put him representative representing equity state people inside of BSP.
In response, Minister for State Enterprises William Duma says because of the bank's expansion to the nearby countries in the Pacific region, the state representative has been put on hold.
It's an issue that KCH, as the majority shareholder of BSP, has been raising numerous times in the past. And the reason that was given by the bank was that because it was a commercial bank and the bank was in the process of expanding to other parts or other countries in this region, there was this element of PNG government influence or involvement at the board level, so they wanted to ensure that that issue was dealt with at that time. So the issue of having representatives from the major shareholder on the board was then put aside for the time being.
Minister Duma assured the Parliament that since the expansions have already been made, he will now have a dialogue with the board chairman about this issue. He further added that the fees have been charged by the bank are beyond the shareholders' concern and they are regulatory matters that are under the Bank of PNG. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
BSP Financial Group Limited has been recognized by the PNG Human Resources Institute and awarded one of the 2 best performing private sector organizations with best practices in its human resources and information system. BSP Group CEO Robin Fleming, in receiving the award from the Governor General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai, said the award is a result of BSP being guided and built on its 7 core values, which are quality, integrity, leadership, professionalism, community teamwork, and people.
BSP CEO commended BSP's People and Culture Human Resources team, led by Group General Manager Harry Rabura, who manages BSP's 4,560 staff across PNG, Fiji, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, and Cambodia, for managing the multinational business. This is not the first time BSP has received the Best Performing Private Sector Organization Award. Between the years 2013 and 2018, BSP was also recognized and given a similar award 6 years in a row. BSP is part of the 3-day PNG Human Resource Institute annual general conference that is currently underway in Port Moresby. Day 1 of the program also saw the 2022 top HR graduates from 8 tertiary institutions received respective awards. Mr. Fleming said BSP's graduate development program has always been about further developing graduates from higher learning institutions. Fleming said BSP has recruited over 300 plus graduates in total since the merger with PNG-BC. Octady Mining Limited was the other best performing private sector organization, recognized in terms of its stringent occupational and safety program over 10 years without a lost time injury, which is on par with current global standards in the mining and extraction industry. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NAS Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 $0.4078 Australian dollars, $0.2587 euro, 38.919 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copper closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. The two-day Certified Practicing Accountants (PNG) annual conference got underway today at the Hilton Hotel in Port Moresby. The aim of this year's 26th conference was to create a digital economy as well as to discuss accounting challenges in the growing economy of PNG. The Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, during his opening remarks, challenged all the accountants to back the government in every way they can to help double the size of the economy and achieve financial independence by 2032.
With 1,202 registered participants, the 2022 CPA PNG and CPA Australia PNG brands joint annual conference started today with the theme Digital Economy, E-Business and E-Commerce. The Minister for Internal Trade and Investment said at independence in 1975, the population was 2 million and the kina rate was 1 kina was to 1.20 Australian dollars. Maru said unemployment rate was low with all school leavers securing jobs and there was only one mining company that was the Bougainville copper mine. However, fast forward to the present day, we have 8 resource projects compared to only 1 in 1975 with the current budget deficit of 5 million kina with very high unemployment rate. Minister Maru said PNG needs to create more jobs, increase internal revenue, reduce law and order issues, reduce debt, create wealth for every citizen and fund much needed infrastructure. He said PNG has to reduce agricultural imports and increase domestic production. He urged everyone at the conference to unite and do their best to build a stronger, bigger economy that will deliver the jobs, revenue flows, and improve standards of living for the country and for the people of this country.
With a view to growing millions of jobs, making sure the fisheries sector, agriculture sector, tourism sector, the forest sector, the services sector, the carbon trade sector will be what will create the jobs and sustain this economy going forward.
After the official opening, the BSP Digital General Manager spoke about the digitalization of banking and digital economy future trends, while the principal for PwC spoke about the financial reporting standard update, followed by the speakers from PNG Internal Revenue Commission, Transparency International, University of Technology, and Tribal Foundation. Accountants all over the country also flew into Port Moresby for this conference, which commenced today and will end tomorrow. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Police officers around the country seem to be left out from the 3% pay rise for public servants. This has prompted the Police Association of Papua New Guinea to raise this concern for the benefit of police officers. Association General Secretary Clemens Kanau, in a press statement, highlighted that police officers throughout the country deserve a salary increase like all other public servants to survive this economic hardship and provide security at the same time.
Kanau said that this increase will not be a new or extraordinary request. The Police Association, RPNGC, and the Department of Personnel Management already have an existing and legally binding industrial agreement to increase police personnel salary every 3 years. He said the parties are signatories to the enterprise-based agreement, which was first signed in 2006 and have been consecutively renewed until 2017. It was supposed to be reviewed and renewed twice since then, but given the onset of the COVID-19 crisis and the 2022 national general elections, no attempts were made and it is still pending. The association has made demands of 6% cumulative salary increase as per the enterprise-based agreement and also want the Commissioner of Police to sit with the association executive urgently and discuss this matter. They're calling on the RPNGC management in the Human Resource Division to initiate consultation and dialogue to renew this EBA and award the salary increment to the men and women in blue.
Furthermore, the association also requests the Commissioner of Police, DPM Secretary and the Treasury Department to immediately meet and factor this increase in the 2023 national budget. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
PNG's local artists tend to lack support when it comes to promoting, protecting and preserving of local music. The Papa Ground Music, with the support of SP Brewery, has taken a step forward to help local artists this area. SP Brewery today presented a 50,000 kina check to the festival committee to support their initiative of protecting and preserving PNG artists and music.
Musicians and artists in PNG seem to lack support from organizations to protect and preserve their music. The aim is to support local artists and to collect information of legendary local artists to preserve for the future generation who can get to learn and appreciate legendary music. The Papa Ground Music Festival under the UNMAC project will host a festival to serve this purpose.
Papa Ground Music Festival is about preserving our music history, our music culture. It's more than just an event that celebrates music on one platform. Papa Ground is about renewing the old and teaching the new to revive a music culture that otherwise would be lost.
SP Brewery flagship brand has secured the naming rights for the 2022 Papa Ground Music Festival by sponsoring the festival with 500,000 kina. Brand manager Miriam Lama highlighted that it has been the company's greatest delight to support local music, which plays a greater role in bringing people together.
Our journey with the local music arena dates to 1950. For over 70 years, SP Laga has supported various community initiatives, from sports to cultural events, music festival, boat races, to name a few. Through our current slogan, Bongi Myumi, we continue to build on the value of bringing the joy of true togetherness by supporting local initiatives.
The sponsorship will also support Project UNMAC, which is an initiative that encompasses an entire scope of activities in 5 categories: the music database, the music pathways, development of music act, obtainment of music event license under this act, and to build a music museum. A total of 40 local artists will be participating in this festival that will take place on the 10th to the 11th of December this year. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The CPL group of companies have their shops light up with Christmas lights, bringing the festive season fever to their customers and staff. The Christmas Merry Light program was initiated in 2019. They have also announced their Christmas promotions.
They have decorated all the CPL shops around the country with Christmas lights and decorations to celebrate the festive season. The lighting up of all the CPL shops was officially done by the CPL staffs at Waigani Central on Tuesday in front of customers and staff. Chief Executive Officer for CPL explains the importance of Christmas and why they have the Christmas Merry Light program.
To make the festive season special for the kids with this lighting experience. At the heart, the very heart of Christmas lies the concept of family and community. At CPL, we are very strong with family and community. For us, the lovely nativity scenes which remind us of origins of Christmas to the many family reunions and community events which take place over the festive season, it is a time of coming together in the spirit of kinship and friendship.
He also announced there are promotions for this Christmas.
For this Christmas, we've got lots of prizes, lots of gifts, lots of winners, almost 1 million kina or more worth of winners, about 40,000 individual items that are up for grabs for all our customers. So all you have to do is scratch and win.
The promotions will be going on till the 31st of December 2022. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Japanese modernization course will be offered at the University of Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby. Students taking this course will be tutored by Japanese guest lecturers from prestigious Japanese universities.
The program will see a range of short-intensive lectures delivered at UPNG on the Japanese development experience, success and failures with the process of Japan's modernization. UPNG School of Humanities and Social Sciences Executive Dean Professor Leo Marai says this will suit the growing research needs within the university.
We are looking at exchanges of staff, students, and teaching of courses like in this JAGA program. It's already been running. In fact, the MOE is just a way of making it formalized and then also extending to other areas at the university.
Course coordinator and lecturer Russell Yanjin says students can be able to learn about the political economy of Japan, history, policies, its friendship with neighboring countries, and how all this can be integrated in PNG.
Also to build current practices and also build the practical base of the course itself for the students. So when they graduate and go, that practical knowledge, will be inbuilt, so that we put our students on the market when they graduate.
With knowledge gained from these studies, students can contribute to the future development of our country. Jim John, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sport. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Kairuku-Hiri Netball Tournament is now on to day 2 of competition, and the defending premiers of A-grade division, the Tubuseria Netball Club, are dominating the ladder as of yesterday's competitions.
The tournament officially commenced at 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon at the Rita Flynn Netball Court. As of the playoffs from yesterday, in the under-15 division, great talents were showcased by the Boera Netball Club and Lea Lea, who are currently vying for the top post. This was highlighted by PNG Sports Foundation officer Willie Vira.
Under 15s, we have very talented young players from Boera and Lea Lea fighting for the top post. Under 21 is a mixture of games where the Erie West teams, especially Porebada, are really showing their skills, and they are topping the team now.
For the A-grade division, the 2021 premiers who claimed the title, the Tubuseria Netball Club, are topping the Pool A division after claiming 2 of their clashes. This was also highlighted by Mr. Vira.
A-grade is the premier team who won the last year's Kairuku Erie tournament. Tubuseras are still leading Pool A-grade as the current 2 games. They won 2 games, so they are on the leading the Pool A-grade.
In the under-21, Porebada is topping the division. This pool is the highlight of the tournament as of yesterday. Meanwhile, with yesterday's results, today we'll see the teams vying to secure a spot for the finals, which is scheduled for Friday, 25th of November 2022. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The official awards presentation of the Port Moresby Rugby League competition, which was supposed to be held today, has been deferred to next week Tuesday due to non-turn-up of awardees and invited guests.
The Port Moresby Rugby League Official Awards presentation will be held on Tuesday, the 6th of December 2022 at White House Santos National Football Stadium. The presentation will see awards presented in the following categories for the players: Top Point Scorer of the Season, Top Try Scorer of the Season, Best Forward of the Season, and Best Back of the Season. The Premier Division winner, the Royals, will receive cash prizes. The PRL officers too will be awarded in the following categories for their hard work throughout the season: Coach of the Season, Trainers of the Season, Referees of the Season, and special awards will be awarded to media personnel for their continued support in media coverage. This was highlighted by Port Moresby Rugby League Competition Administrator Meke Maino.
The winners and the losers, they know because they featured in the grand final. The grand final winners will get their winners check, and the runners-up or the losers, if you want to put it like that, will get their runner-up checks. Those they know. But for those individuals who are getting awards, like the media awards or the referees awards or the best player award and all that, I've taken all of today to make individual contacts so that whoever the person who has reached or who has
Maino went on to acknowledge the support of its major sponsor, SP Brewery.
First and foremost, SP has been with Port Moresby Rugby League through thick and thin since they both carved that partnership in 1953, and not one year that they have separated in their partnership, and for that, yes, we always acknowledge SP Brewery.
Meanwhile, the presentation will include all the clubs who have secured a spot in the PRL Grand Finals for the season 2022. Awards recipients are encouraged to attend the event in their formal attires. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sport.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Now we take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, sunny then partly cloudy with evening inland showers and thunderstorms. In Popondetta, mostly fine, partly cloudy. In Momase region, Lay City, partly sunny then cloudy with evening showers. Vanimo, few showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, sunny fine. And Buka, partly cloudy with brief evening showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 24th of November, 2022. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.